aka Mr. Holla at your motherfucking boy. So Triple G versus Canelo went down last night. Pretty entertaining fight. Very good fight, man. Very, very, very good fight. A fire fight, man. Both of these guys got hella chins, man, for sure. Triple G took hella punishment from Canelo. Canelo took hella punishment from Triple G. There were some spots in the fight where it looked like Canelo was really, really hurt, but put on such a good act that he was able to kind of get by without Triple G laying it on a little bit too thick. I think Triple G actually could have stopped Canelo had he been a little bit more, had he kind of recognized the signs of Canelo being hurt throughout the course of the fight. But overall, man, this was a good fight. Very competitive all the way throughout. The end result was a split decision draw, which is, man, them draws, man. It really leaves a sour ass motherfucking taste in a lot of people's mouths, because it's just, it's pretty much like the fight never happened when you're talking about a draw. Okay, I mean, there was no conclusion. When we watch boxing, we watch to see who the better fighter is. We watch to see who's gonna win the fight. Okay, everybody has their predictions on who they believe is gonna win. But a draw, I mean, that just, all the predictions go out the window. You know what I mean? All the speculation goes out the window. Even though a lot of people believe that Triple G won, at the end of the day, it was a split decision draw. You know what I mean? So, but let's talk about this fight a little bit. Let's actually dig into the actual fight, man. Now, I was watching this fight at like a strip club. You know what I mean? So, I ain't gonna lie, it was hard as fuck to focus. I'm watching the fight and ass is just walking by me left and goddamn right. So every 2 to 3 minutes I was kind of looking to the side, kind of looking to the left, looking to the right. It was that kind of situation for me. So this might not be the best breakdown that I've ever done before, but you know what I mean? I caught most of the fight, maybe like 90% everything, and you know what I mean? Maybe the other 10% was looking at ass and shit. But the first maybe like 3-4 rounds, I think that Canelo was landing some real clean shots. Canelo did a lot more moving around than I thought he would do. He was moving around the ring. He looked okay moving around the ring, but his feet are very kind of slow. So he was kind of clunky moving around the ring, which I did not really expect him to do. I thought that he would do a lot more standing in the middle of the ring with Triple G. But I understand why he didn't. But I thought he would do a lot more standing in the middle of the ring with Triple G. And Triple G's footwork kind of impressed me a little bit too, because Triple G did a lot of getting in on the inside and then taking steps back, when Canelo would exchange. He was very good with that footwork, using it defensively to kind of get out of range of Canelo's punching. You know what I mean? But as far as the first like 3-4 rounds, I think Canelo did pretty well. Triple G takes a little bit of time to turn on as well, but I think Canelo did well, kind of hitting Triple G with some clean, effective, hard shots. He got him to the body a few times with some hard counters, and got him to the head a few times with some hard shots. And it looked like Canelo had taken control of those first 3 rounds, but they were real close, man. They were real close. This was a real tough fight for scoring, because really it's a matter of what you liked in this particular fight. Because to me, and you could kind of go all the way through the fight with this, to me, Canelo landed the cleaner shots, the cleaner, harder shots, and Triple G was just busier landing more shots throughout the course of the fight. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what it was in the first few rounds, or 3 rounds. But I would say in the first 3-4 rounds, Canelo was kind of landing those cleaner, harder shots a little bit more than Triple G was being busy. After maybe about the 3rd round, 4th round or so, Triple G started to turn it on. He started to kind of press the attack a little bit more. That second gear in Triple G definitely turned on, and he started being more aggressive, stalking Canelo. He didn't really cut the ring off too much, which was kind of, a little uncharacteristic of Triple G. But he started to turn it on around the third or fourth round, and he started kind of stalking Canelo. You know what I mean? And it looked like by that time Canelo had also gotten tired, so it was two things working against him at that particular time. So Triple G stalking him. He's landing little combinations, little short combinations that are hard and look very powerful. And Canelo's pretty much eating them shots, man. And if you listen to my prediction video, I thought that this fight would come down to Triple G's chin. I mean, not Triple G's, I'm sorry, Canelo's chin. You know what I mean? Because if he's able to take the punching power, to me, Canelo has a legitimate shot at had a legitimate shot at beating Triple G. You know what I mean? And Canelo proved that, you know what I mean, that he had a legitimate chin, because he was getting hit with some hard flush shots towards those middle rounds. You know what I mean? Triple G was busier, he was landing more shots, and Canelo would just kind of land some shots few and far between, and Triple G would pretty much walk away with those rounds. You know what I mean? Now towards maybe like this continued for maybe like the next 4 rounds or so. After that, Canelo kind of he got more active. I don't know if somebody had a conversation with him in the corner and was like, hey, get up on your ass and that sort of thing. But around maybe like the 8th, 9th round, Canelo kind of started to turn it on a little bit, and he started to get a little bit more active. This fight pretty much had a formula, Canelo with the clean, hard shots, and Triple G with the effective aggression and the work rate. And we already know those fights always turn into be very controversial fights in general. Work rate versus clean, hard punching, that kind of thing. But yeah, Canelo started to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more busy, and he started putting together some punches and landing some cleaner, harder shots on Triple G. He looked like he hurt Triple G a few times, because there was a few times I saw Triple G backing up, which is uncharacteristic of Triple G. Man, it was one punch in particular that Canelo landed on Triple G, and I just remember everybody in the club like, oh shit, like everybody just screamed like, god damn. It was a hard ass goddamn shot, and Triple G just walked right through that shit, man. He just walked right through that shit. That punch would have knocked anybody else the fuck out, but Triple G walked right through it. And that pretty much was the story of the last like 3-4 rounds, maybe like round 9, 10, 11, 12. Canelo landing some cleaner shots, some harder shots, some more effective. Now those rounds were really close, man. Those rounds were really close, and they could have went any way, or any way, whatever. You know what I mean? Personally, I think maybe Canelo won rounds 11, 12. I think he won round 11, 12. Triple G maybe got round 9. Ultimately, man, this was a really close fight, man. I mean, whether you believe Triple G won or whether you believe Canelo won, they didn't win by a lot. Okay, 7-5 at best. I think Triple G edged it out. Edged out the win over Canelo. I think he was those middle rounds, he took enough of those middle rounds in order to definitively in order to win it. And some of those rounds in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I think he may have won one of those rounds, and maybe would have won one of those rounds and towards around 11, 12. You know what I mean? Like, I think he would have, like, it was close enough to where I think a judge could have easily had it the other way around in the earlier parts of the fight, and the judge could have gave him one of the rounds in the later parts of the fight. And I think that Triple G pretty much controlled the middle part of the fight. So I think Triple G kind of won this fight, man. I think he did. I think he did enough to win, but the decision turned out to be a unanimous, well, not unanimous, I'm sorry, but a split decision draw, which I'm not mad at. You know what I mean? A lot of people are mad at, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? It was a good fight. You know what I mean? It was a good fight. It was a good close fight. It was just a good fight, man. It was just a good fight. Man, oh man. I mean, we have to see the rematch next. You know, I mean, you can't leave a fight like this, especially considering the magnitude of the fight. You can't leave a fight like this without a sequel. But the thing is in the sequel, I don't know that things will be much different. I think the sequel will be very very much similar to this fight. You know what I mean? I think we're going to see just a continuation of this fight as opposed to a whole new fight in the sequel. It'll be interesting to. I think Triple G said at the end of this fight that he saw a few things that he could kind of during the fight that he could probably take advantage of in the next fight. And I think so. I mean, Triple G, he has somewhat of a boxing IQ on him. I think Triple G, I think Triple G would more definitively win a part two. You know what I mean? I think he would. I seen him making some adjustments in there and doing some very technical things in there that would, excuse me for the coughing, by the way, that would probably get him the win in a part two. Not only that, but a lot of people forget that Triple G was a silver medalist in the Olympics. So the guy has a amateur pedigree out of this world. You know what I mean? So, and Canelo really doesn't. You know what I mean? Canelo doesn't have it. He started boxing pro at like 15, 16 or some shit. So he didn't really have much amateur experience. You know what I mean? As opposed to Triple G. So these guys are from two completely different ends of the spectrum. You know, when it comes to boxing, yes, Canelo has more pro fights, but he doesn't really have the amateur background like Triple G. You know, fighting in those amateurs, it really gives you that versatility because you're really in amateurs. It's all about your technical skills in the amateurs. You know, you're not knocking people out like that. You know, power doesn't matter as much because you're fighting people that got goddamn face gear on and you wearing goddamn, I don't know if it's 14 or 15 ounce gloves. You know what I mean? So you're not really fighting for power. You're fighting to score. So it's all about technical ability in the amateurs as opposed to the pro boxing ranks. So, you know, fighting there kind of gives you that polish on your technical skills, you know. So I think Triple G in the rematch will win more definitively. I think he'll make some adjustments and do better in a rematch. And you know what, man? I picked Canelo to win. I thought that Canelo would be able to throw some combinations and spurts, and he did that towards the later parts of the fight. I thought that he would do that earlier on, though. You know what I mean? I thought he would do that earlier on. He didn't do that earlier on. He waited until later to kind of get those combinations in those spurts, and he should have been doing that the whole fight, man. I mean, honestly, you know. The first like 5 rounds, 6 rounds, he's trying to land one punch at a time. And, you know, I mean, it worked towards the beginning of the fight, you know, but towards the middle parts of the fight, man, he should have been turning on those combinations in and out, and that kind of thing, you know. But all in all, man, good fight. Canelo really ran the fuck out of breath, man. He really gassed out. And we're not surprised. We're not surprised by this for Canelo. We know that Canelo has stamina issues from the Mayweather days, from before the Mayweather days, and, you know, him gassing out and fighting in spurts. And that's just Canelo in a nutshell, you know. I don't know that he has the ability to fight all the way through like Triple G does, you know. But, I mean, even if you're going to fight in spurts, you got to be a little bit more strategic about you fighting in spurts, you know what I mean? I think Canelo kind of overhydrated in this fight too, man. He looked real big. I'm curious to see what his weight is, you know what I mean? Or what his weight was on fight night. I think Canelo was probably easily maybe like 190 pounds, man. 185, 190 pounds. Usually he rehydrates up to like 170, 175, but I think he went overboard for this particular fight. I think he went up to probably like 190, man, in this fight easily. He looked real fucking big, man. You know what I mean? As far as like thickness, he looked real big compared to Triple G. Triple G was definitely the taller, longer guy, but Canelo looked real thick. I think he overhydrated. I think that played a role when it came to his stamina. And ultimately may have affected him in this fight. But I mean, it was a draw, so you know what, man, both fighters, they came out winners at the end of the day. Of course they're going to do the part 2. They got to get that money. But let me know what you guys think, man. Hit it up in the comment section below. You can also hit me up on Twitter, Box capital X or capital X Die. You can hit me up on Facebook, box -sign or -sign Die. Like the videos, subscribe, all that bullshit. But until next time, it's your buddy Dynamite signing out. Holla at your motherfucking boy.